Hey, what's up guys, and today I'm gonna be giving you what if Naruto was reborn in a new world with Rimuru's powers. Yes guys, this will be a crossover between Naruto, Rimuru, and also Overlord. Yes guys, and a few others in the mix, so it's gonna be a basic multiversal anime what if. Yes guys, it's gonna be awesome. The link for the original will be down in the description if you want to check it out yourself, so go ahead, show them some love. And don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels. Yes, Anime Symbol, a new channel of mine. I've posted about it already, so the video below this is the one you had to watch and check out. Yeah guys, a big step, a big change, so yeah. Sit back, relax, I hope you guys enjoy. So let's begin this now guys. We begin this at the Valley of the End. She was frustrated. She was angry. Damn it. Close, damn it. She screamed, tears pooling down her face as she tried to close the giant hole in his chest. However, she was failing to do so. Hey, Sakura-chan. Sorry for Sasuke's face and the left half of his head. He said with a weak smile, "Don't talk. Just stay alive." Sakura pleaded as she pumped more chakra to heal his wounds. I blew half his head away. He choked out, "I'm sorry." It was inevitable, but he fought for his beliefs to the end. Kakashi Hatake, who had Naruto's head on his lap to help Sakura, was sitting there. Sakura snapped her head up. I can't close the wound, Kakashi-sensei. Why can't I close it?" she said, as she started to hyperventilate, not understanding. Kakashi looked down sadly. Naruto's body is at its limit. I can't feel Kurama either, so the Biju must be too exhausted to help. Kakashi answered. His voice and eyes were devoid of all emotions as he looked down towards the bloody blonde. The jutsu was just supposed to knock him out, but the clash, it reacted so badly. Naruto muttered weakly. He was too lost in his grief and madness to be stopped. You did your best for years as you tried to save him. It was more than many others would have done in your place. Kakashi answered. So, I'll never be Hokage? Naruto asked. The other two chuckle in despair of their sadness. Even now you talk about it. Please never change. Sakura muttered, tears pooling down her face, knowing that this will be the last time that she spoke to him. Inside his head, mindscape. So, I'm dying, said Naruto weakly. It would seem so. But I'll follow soon after. We won't be alone in there at least. It is still something. The voice of Kurama said. Can't you heal me? I can't. That bastard forced me to use every last of my chakra. I was still recovering from the fight with Madara and Kaguya. So no, I can't. I never thought I would have missed their healing powers. Naruto said. Suddenly, there was a voice. Configuration accepted. Skill. Regeneration. Level 1. Acquired. Damn it. I should have been stronger, Naruto said sadly, as he watched the dead body of his old friend lying next to him, a part of the head blown off. Stronger? More than what you were, Kurama said amused. More and more, if only I had just eaten more ramen to get stronger. You can't eat ramen to get stronger, you fool, Kurama said with a smile on his face. Configuration accepted. Skill consume. Acquired. Okay now, what the hell is happening? I know I heard something just before. Who's there? Kurama yelled out in the void. Whatever. I don't care anymore, said Naruto. What's wrong? Kurama said. My chest is burning. It hurts. Too hot. Configuration. Establishing. Heat resistance. Successful. You know you have a hole the size of a watermelon in your chest, right? That's lethal. Configuration. Establishing pierce resistance. Successful. Level up. Pierce resistance evolving into physical attack resistance. On the outside. Stay with me, Naruto. You're not gonna die on me, Sakura said, as she could see him slipping away. The blonde was unable to respond anymore. Naruto? Kurama said, as Naruto's body slowly vanished. The fox lowered himself when he heard Naruto's voice. I no longer feel pain or burning, but it's cold. So cold. Kurama looked around. His friend was still here. It means the time has come. You won't feel cold for much longer. Configuration established. Cold resistance successful. Level up. Heat resistance and cold resistance have successfully evolved into thermal fluctuation resistance. You know, it may be that we both are just hallucinating and hearing these voices, but all these talking about resistance made me wonder, should there really be a reality next life? I should really try to learn to be immune to lightning, just in case another lightning asshole shows up and kept on spamming some lightning ability somewhere. As Kurama could only laugh at that. That is when the voice came again. Establish. Electricity resistance successful. As a result, paralysis resistance has been also acquired. I wonder, said Naruto, what will await us? I do not know. But wherever we're going, I hope we'll be together. Without my great wisdom, in a matter of minutes you'll be dead. I have to be there to help your ass after all. Screw you, you fuzzy furball, Naruto yelled out. Yeah, screw you too, you blonde knucklehead, Kurama said back, as everything went white and silent. Until transfiguration accepted. Unique minor blessing. The great wisdom of the trickster god acquired. Time skip. An unknown amount of time later. Somewhere. Aha! This one looked promising. An old sounding voice said. Huh? A sleeping Naruto thought to himself, as his brain was just starting to reboot. Yes. Breathe in. That is how it is done. Where am I? Despite his eyelids fighting to remain closed, Naruto was able to crack one of them open as he saw a rather ugly looking woman with green skin looking down at him in satisfaction. This is a strong one. Good. Very good. As Naruto fell back into slumber. The next day, a cave. It was a cave that much Naruto knew. He was in a cave surrounded by half a dozen ugly green-skinned babies. And he was apparently one of them, if his own green hands was anything to go by that he could see. He was still too young to speak. He could only gasp in his mind at what he was seeing in front of him as he flexed his little fingers. What are those things, he wondered curiously. They are goblins. A voice reached his ears. Goblins? Hey, who's talking? However, no voice came this time, as majority of the babies start to wake up, some of them stirring up, some of them crawling, moving around. So, I'm a infant. Yeah, an infant, a baby. Naruto screamed into his mind, as he ended up crying in the real world. Strong, with good lungs as well. A boisterous laughter then followed. It was an old goblin woman. as others were there as well, and they were also laughing. So I went from a strong, badass, super awesome, cool shinobi to a ugly, green-skinned baby. Who the hell did I piss off to deserve this? There is no other explanation. I'm cursed. I'm cursed, he yelled out in his mind. There wasn't even a solace that he could just be a stupid baby, because he remembered everything. He remembered who and what he was. Surprisingly though, the next day he grew. Yes, he and the others grew at an extraordinary rate, as he was almost matching the body that he once was in the academy in just a few hours. However, there was a difference that separated him from the other goblins. Holy shit. It actually worked, Naruto thought, as he had tried to call on his chakra and it came. The trigger was, he has been testing his body by running, kicking, punching, and all sort of stuff, when an older goblin decided that it might be a good idea to grab him by the leg and lift him up, upside down Naruto channel, chakra into his fist that was a trigger, and slam his fist right in the guy's nuts. His eyes bugged out like they were about to fly through his socket. He screamed, as the others started to laugh. A boisterous laugh came from one of them. Would you look at that? Goblin SA got his nuts smashed. This is rich, a near adult goblin said in great amusement. Look, we have the youngest goblin with a title ever, the Ball Smasher. It was followed by another boisterous laugh as everyone exploded in laughter all throughout the cave. Well, not the strongest when I died, but at least I'm not completely helpless. I'm stronger than when I was an academy student, and it's just been a few hours. Naruto thought to himself before he used some rags to create some clothing to cover himself, a loincloth to be exact. As he walked outside, ignoring the others, they also decided to name him Goblin Nori. Hell no, he was no Goblin Nori. His true name was supposed to be Naruto Namikaze. However, because of his past and the hidden from him, it was never called out. But that is what he will use in this, wherever the hell he was. Messed up place where he was a damn green goblin. Alright, let's see if I remember the training I did with Kakashi Sensei and Erasenin. At least then I can have a chance of surviving here. At least I hope. As Naruto ran up against a tree, only to fall flat on his face the next second. It seems like it's gonna take some time. Several weeks later, in the forest, it had took Naruto almost a month to regain his old chakra control. Even if he wasn't perfect, it was still a great leap. It turns out that goblins had no concept of training or anything like that. The strong survive and the weak live. A harsh world, but that is how their society worked. The old woman, the goblin that he first saw, she was the elder of the tribe. She said that he was one of the good ones. Out of the 24 goblins that were born, only 5 or 6 survived the delivery like him. And a few was expected to reach adulthood. Only a few. Their group was rather small. It's a surprise that they have not been wiped out completely yet. Naruto had not bonded with anyone. None of the males that was born with him, nor the sole female that was born with him as well. Because in their mind they choose to walk over anything to survive. Yes, they lack certain concepts, certain bonds. In his old life he was always about teamwork, friends. But this, it was no place for it here. So he decided to just step away from them and not get too caught up in their whole dealings. Also, dying made him realize that sometimes it's best to just give up. He had been naive about that in the past. Give up on people to be exact. 2 goblins had tried to get his rations because they were hungry. And he realized that it's not good to run after people or trust everyone. Yes, a hard life lesson that he had learned. So he simply kept to himself. Right now he was hunting some bunnies, but it was extremely easy. Compared to catching Tora, that was hard. That damn devil cat, he thought. Today it was a fluffy like rabbit with a horn right on its forehead, calmly eating down below, eating some grass as Naruto stood in a tree, watching it. It was kind of cute, and he felt bad when he leaped out of the tree, as he was about to smash its head with a rock, which he did. Lunch is served. As he sat down to eat the thing, skill, easily escape, learned. A voice spoke up in his head. Tuh, that should be the last thing these pets have to teach me, I guess. Naruto said please between mouthfuls as he scanned his surroundings. He was forced to eat away from the cave to stop them from trying to attack him, to get what he was eating. So he stay away from them. Obtain medium animal horn. Another, said Naruto as he looked at the horn that he took from the dead rabbit. A medium-sized horn took from a rabbit. Not the best of weapon, but better than using your own fists. Attack increased by 2. Yes, every time you kill one of them and take their horn, you get that message, and I have to repeat all of that stuff when you ask what it is. A very well-known voice replied in Naruto's mind, huffing in annoyance. 1 week after he started training his body, as soon as he mastered the tree walking, a voice had popped up. Skill acquired, that is what it said. As the voice was none other than Kurama's voice. Kurama told him that the skill was tree walking. He already knew that, but in this world it was different, as there was a description about it as well. It seems whatever, Reborn Naruto in this world had taken Kurama for the ride as well. However, Kurama was turned into something called a minor blessing, going by the name Great Wisdom of the Trickster God. He was represented by a small little red cherry emblem on Naruto's forehead, as it gifted Naruto with several inhuman ability. Other abilities included processing speed by thousands of times, the ability to analyze and scan a target much faster than normal, and the ability to comprehend any phenomenon. Kurama hated when he had to repeat things over and over, and him being called a minor blessing, that hit his pride. Naruto got up as he dusted off. Better change his zone then, he said. I want to see if there's any more prey around. You're adapting rather well, Kurama said. Well, not like I had any other choice. I have to thank my will to train and push myself, otherwise I would have snapped a long time ago. As soon as I recover my abilities as a ninja, I'm leaving this place. Leaving? Said Kurama. Yeah, I want to check out this world, to see how different it is. I may not be able to be Hokage anymore, but I am going to make a name for myself all the same. You mean becoming a hero? Kurama asked him. I don't think that people would ever see goblins as heroes. The only human I ever saw was those adventurers who kept the road safe so that goblins would not approach or mess with their merchants as they guide them to their location. At least I can become a well-respected mercenary if I show a bit more intelligence than the others. You mean like no attacking your clients? Yeah, pretty much, said Naruto, knowing that the goblins were not the smartest when it came to thinking things over. Let's hope it will be enough to have them give me a chance. As Naruto spotted a nearby stream, his stomach rumbled as he saw a rather large fish leaped out, as he quickly went after it. Time skip. Several hours later, after some fishing. Hey, how long is it before I reach level 100? Naruto asked as he looked down into the water. Other than the whisker marks that were still here with him, his face looked like a normal fat bald goblin. However, his eyelids were a bit more pointed and he had canines coming out of the side of his mouth. What? Are you that anxious about becoming a hobgoblin? Kurama asked in amusement. He had found out thanks to Kurama that in this world, levels existed. Once he reached level 100, he could choose to evolve into a hobgoblin, and from there on other branches of evolution within it. The elder goblin had put in her speeches when Anyone asks about the pros and cons of evolution. Hopefully I won't be as ugly as once I evolve. Naruto said, annoyed, hating how he looked. Meh, you're almost there. It will be a matter of days at best, depending on what you kill and eat next. I gain the abilities of whatever I consume. The larger, the better. I told you that I would get stronger by eating. You see, said Naruto, sounding rather proud of himself. If only he could eat ramen and get stronger. Tch, you were just lucky. And you meant eating ramen, not every object and harmful things that you see around. Yesterday you eat a goddamn dagger. Well, I did got a bit of EXP for my slash damage resistance, said Naruto. But those are just finer details. It doesn't change what I said. Eating do make you stronger. I hate you, said Kurama. It did not matter how harmful, foul, toxic anything was, Naruto could eat it. And as soon as he did, the harmful stench got away, and it even became a bit delicious. Eating would upgrade his skills, as his body get more stronger due to the harmful toxic things. Did that mean he was broken? Overpowered, he thought to himself. Hell yeah, he said, jumping up. It was his turn to finally be overpowered as hell. Time skip. A month later. Woods, near the cave. Shit. Still not level 100. It seems like the higher the level, the more EXP he would need to level up, and he was not getting that much around here. Being a very impatient person, it was pissing him off. Now it was raining. Better return to the cave, Naruto thought, as he headed back. He had left the cave the moment the sun came out, and now it was night. As he made his way, what the? Naruto had to hide as he saw something large. A large fat monster. What's that? It's a orc, Kurama said. What is it doing here? Naruto got the answer when the orc grabbed something and threw it. A dead goblin on a pile of dead goblins. As Naruto did not notice when he arrived, another orc came out dragging two women by their ankle. Whether they were alive, they were currently unresponsive and catatonic. What have they done to them, Naruto asked. Perhaps they were already like that, Kurama said. What do you mean already like that, Naruto asked. Whack! The orc slammed his weapon down on the woman's chest. She was a human woman. Blood exploded out of her mouth. She died. She was already unresponsive, but now she was completely dead. Kurama then explained why he believed they were already like that in the beginning. How do you think goblins reproduce? With female goblin? Naruto asks. No, too low of a birth rate. Human women are more fertile, and it seems like their choice is being taken away from them. Naruto froze as he saw the other one. Her dead eyes. She was alive, but she was probably the one that gave birth to him. So the goblins, what they did to... Naruto just froze. A viper snake thought that it would be best to strike him at that moment. Naruto grabbed it and bit its head clean off. Skill. Poison. Creation. Acquired. Poison resistance acquired. Naruto watched as the two orcs went inside, leaving the guard outside alone. As he went behind the tree, he picked up a rock and threw it. The orc quickly made its way off. Naruto pulled out two of the rabbit horns and coated them in a purple liquid. The orc eyes widened as something jumped on its back. It tried to get it off, however. Everything went black for it a moment later. Be quiet, Naruto whispered as he plunged both of the weapons into the orc's eyes until he felt it push into the brain. He jumped off its back. To his surprise, it was still walking, coming towards him. Persistent bastard are you, said Naruto. He reached over and picked up the club that the monster had dropped when he stabbed it, to see if he can pick it up and swing it. And he did. Don't worry, said Naruto. The others will join you soon enough. He then brought it down on the thing's head. The sight was far from pretty. "We are no longer in Konoha, right?" said Naruto. "Yeah, we're not." "I'm no longer human, am I?" said Naruto. "No, you're not. So I no longer have the luxury of being shown mercy. Listen to me. Humans have the freedom of choice to decide to help each other wherever they go. However, here, for you, it's about the survival of the strongest. If you are weak, you get killed and eaten. If you are strong, you get respect. In the end, it is still like back in the elemental countries. Only this time you are seeing things from the other side." "So," said Naruto, "you already destroyed the brain, so eat its heart. And from those human girls and the other goblins as well." What?" said Naruto. "They are dead, and you may need whatever skill and abilities that they possess to survive and get stronger. Those orcs, seems that they're going to take over this cave, so they probably came here to just kill the goblins. Eat the dead before they notice us. You have no idea how many are in there," Kurama said. "Okay," said Naruto. His tone sounded rather defeated. As Naruto dragged the orc away, another one came out, seemingly looking for him, but he shrugged his shoulders and returned back inside. Later that night, one human girl had been a ranger, which meant that she had a decent ability with throwing a bow and throwing other weapons, along that she had decent footing, so it did not matter the terrain. The other was a beginner in blacksmith and had some working knowledge on potion creating, and when she saw him, she came to a bit. She actually seemed glad to him ending her. After what she had been through, she accepted it. It was something that she desired. They were a young adventurer and a crafting student. Both of them were my age when I returned from my training trip with Erasenin. As Naruto muttered while making his way underground, as he could hear the sleeping orcs. He has been keeping himself from puking the entire time. "Naruto," Kurama muttered sadly. Seeing how inexperienced he was, especially seeing that he has not reached that far in his ninja training, Naruto decided to wait until night, after they filled their stomach and now they were sleeping. After eating the snakes, Naruto had gotten something that was like heat vision, as he could see their body temperatures. Majority of them were asleep. Eating one of the orc gave Naruto their language, and also a vigor skill, where he can double the stamina in one of his attacks, exchanging it for another, along with the orc weapon that he had, a large club, that he hoped would be efficient when the time arrives to fight. As Naruto walked between the sleeping orcs, a bluish purple liquid dropped from his finger into their mouth. Even if it did not kill them, it should be enough to weaken them. As Naruto collected everything that the goblins had, packing it away, there were two orcs that were still awake. Naruto overheard them talking. "No other humans," one of them said. "No fun if they don't struggle. Can we eat the dead one then?" "Can't find it. The others already took it." "Tch, not fair," the other one said. Naruto clenched his fist as he gripped his weapon before he leaped. Whack! Slamming the thing over the orc's head. Naruto did not check if it was dead or alive. Whack! As both he and the second guard tumbled on the floor. "Die!" said Naruto as he hit it again and again and again, until the thing exploded. However, the other one, it wasn't dead and it recovered, charging at Naruto. Naruto leaped over it as he landed on its back. He then started to stab it in the back. His weapon got stuck right into its flesh, breaking in half. However, it did what he desired as the guard body plopped hard on the floor. "The others are waking up. You need to go," Kurama said, as Naruto took away a small part of the two guards' meat and quickly made his way off. "It's time to leave the forest then. It's not like anything else is keeping you here," Kurama said. "Yeah." Time skip. Having no idea where to go, Naruto decided to follow the stream that was close to the cave that he was born into. Good thing he still possessed the stamina that he had in his previous life, so tree jumping and running for a long time was not an issue for him. After 3 long days of running, Naruto came across a female goblin, dressed in some rags, sitting down on the floor, her back pressed against a tree, as she was waving a stick in her hand, trying to keep the horned rabbit away from her, as she cried for help. Really? Naruto thought, as she was afraid of the rabbit it seems. Every time the rabbit got close, she screamed out. With the goblin female, she was scared. She had hurt her leg while hunting, and now she was trying to keep the rabbit away from her, from stabbing her with its horn. The elder had told her that she was too weak, and she should stick to berries and nuts. However, she was told that rabbit meat tastes really good and she wanted to try it. In the end, the rabbit got annoyed as it simply charged forward to stab right through her for interrupting its eating. She saw it as she screamed on top of her lungs. However, Naruto dropped down as he seemed to fall from the sky to her. Bam! Crushing down on the rabbit with a club in his hand. Are you okay? He asked, kneeling in front of her. Her eyes had been closed as she slowly opened them to see who was her savior. I asked if you're okay, said Naruto. She leaped on him and hugged him as tightly as she could, thanking him over and over again. Oh, it was nothing. Instead of hugging me, do you want to eat with me? Said Naruto, as he held the dead rabbit up by its horn. You're giving it to me? Sharing it, more likely, said Naruto, as they shared between them. A brilliant smile on her face as she munched down on it. It's amazing, she said. Huh? Said Naruto, as she was talking to him and the rabbit. You can hunt them by yourself. It's amazing, she replied. By myself? Said Naruto. Other goblins usually get killed by their horn if they are not careful, so it takes 2 to hunt them. But you do it by yourself, so you must be really strong. Considering the IQ of the goblins in the cave that you were born in, it's not hard to believe that they just rush in and get killed by those things rather easily, Kurama said. So why were you alone? Naruto asked. I was hungry. The older goblins told me I had to hunt by myself, so I tried to see if I could catch something other than berries. The one hunting with me got scared by the rabbit and ran away, and I got my leg hurt. I was about to die until you arrived. You hurt your leg? Let me see, said Naruto, as she presented her leg to him, making Naruto blush a bit. She was different from other female goblins that he saw. She had incredibly smooth skin, and she had a lot of hair in her head. Not that he had interacted much with other female goblins, but still. Nothing serious. Let me fix it. In a couple of days you'll be fine, said Naruto, as he took a part out of the loincloth that he was wearing, as he bandaged it up for her. Hey, what are you? She was surprised as Naruto picked her up in his arms, carried her. I'll take you back to your tribe. To where? She looked at him as she seemed a bit worried. Huh. She's cute, said Naruto. He never knew a goblin could be this cute. Yes, he said. Can I stay with you? She asked. Oh, why? Said Naruto. In my cave the others ignore me because I'm weak. But you are strong and cool. Can I stay? Cool? Said Naruto, surprised. Yes, you can hunt. You helped me and gave me rabbit meat. You are cool. More than any other goblin I ever seen, she said. So, you want me to help you become stronger? Said Naruto. Wait, you can do that? She said. I'm leaving the woods to see the world, but I can help you get stronger before that, said Naruto. Can I come with you then? You would leave this place with me? Yeah, she said. Okay then, let's first fix your leg, and then we can start training. I'm Naruto, by the way. Nice to meet you. Naruto? Hi. It's a silly name, she said. Hey, said Naruto. But I like it. I am Goblin Mei, she said. Can I just call you Mei? Of course you can, she said. Very well. Let's go find somewhere quiet to stay, so I can start to teach you the theories. Then we will start on the practical side once you recovered. Oh, okay, she said, as she hugged him tightly, making Naruto flush in embarrassment. She sure is grateful for my help, said Naruto. Oh, for hell's sake. He's hopeless when it came to the matters of the art. And he traveled to this world with him as well. Time skip. It was a warm morning in the woods. Birds were singing. Small critters were coming and going as they pleased, and a few horned rabbits were munching on mushrooms on some grass as well, and chasing their mates. Everything seemed peaceful and perfectly fine, until one of the horned rabbits screamed as an arrow pierced right through it, from one side going through to the other. A male goblin leaped from the tree as he brought his club down and killed it. Got one, Naruto said happily, as he gave a thumbs up to his hidden hunting partner. Out of the 6 rabbit that was there, all 5 ran except for one, as this one glared at Naruto with hate. Want a piece of me, said Naruto. Well, come and get a bite. It moved forward only for an arrow to slam through its front paw as it lost balance. Good shot, Mei-chan, said Naruto as he stepped forward as he raised the club. Whack! Mei jumped out from where she was. See, I got them, she said, as she ran towards Naruto's side. Yeah, a bow suit you fine. You're awesome, Mei-chan, said Naruto. You are cool too, she said. Naruto had halt is exploring the world, as he was gonna help Mei be able to fight and protect herself. However, he had grown rather fond of her in a few weeks, and also she was rather fond of him as well. Kurama was glad that Naruto was finally getting it. Mai was weak at the moment, physically speaking, but once introduced the bow and arrow, thanks to the small amount of knowledge from his former life, and also her eating to develop her strength. She was moving fast. Thus they divide their job like this. Naruto was a heavy hitter and she was a supporter. At the moment, after this final hunt, Naruto was at level 99 as Mei was at level 89. It had been a pain waiting for her to catch up. However, the answer to his prayers came. One of those was the discovery of a creature known as Kobold and their rich EXP value. Kurama describes them as a lesser kind of beast people. They were more over towards the beast side than human side, giving them the features of the beast. They were shunned by humans and their own kinds because they were violent and destructive. They walk upright as they use weapons, and they mostly act like bandits as well. They were very susceptible to poison, so Mei could pick them off from a far angle, as that would make her level up. Naruto was shocked when he saw them for the first time walking on 2 legs. They were scouting around him and Mei's temporary home, as Naruto was able to bring them down, dragging them over towards Mei and making her kill them. Since then, it has been open season on them. So after a long level grinding, Mei was close to evolving as well, and given the happiness that was radiating off of her, she was very happy about that. I think it's time that we move on. We have a lot of places to visit if we want to travel the world, Naruto said once both of them finished eating. We are ready? She asked. I'm a little afraid, Mei said. If we are together, we can do it, said Naruto with a smirk. After a determined hug and a nod, the both of them began their journey, until a question came. Naruto, where are we going? Mei asked. Naruto blinked. I had hoped you had some idea where to go. I don't know anything about this place, said Naruto. Me neither, she said. Where are we? Said Naruto asking Kurama. I don't know. Try making me describe something, like a tree or rock. Okay, said Naruto as he moved towards the nearest tree. Kurama then started. A common mana tree of the Shamzera forest. The trees are the main ingredients of the common modern restoration potion. Sorry, I can't tell you anymore, Kurama said. And what is Shanzira Forest? Said Naruto. Shanzira Forest, the biggest forest in the country of Treforia. Does that help? Kurama said. Because I have no idea where all of this shit is. And what's Trevoria? Naruto asks. Trevoria, the country of the east furthest territory from the capital of the Devon Kingdom. The smallest country of the Devon Kingdom, whose giant forests act as a barrier between the rival kingdom of Nasiria and its own small country. Trevoria is usually considered a neutral area by the two kingdoms, which is used to meet to delegate amongst one another. It seems that we need a native to explain to us where and what everything is, Kurama said in defeat. Yeah, said Naruto. Naruto, are you okay? Mei asks. Oh yeah, I was just trying to understand where to go, said Naruto. Let's try going west. To the west, she said, as the both of them headed off, trying to find someone to understand what world they were in. Meanwhile, Serena City, capital of the Devon Kingdom, royal castle, in a cozy studio, kept by well-filled bookcases, an old man with a long silver beard, wearing rich clothing and an ancient-looking silver crown, was looking at a huge map that was currently on the table in front of him. Steps could be heard as a messenger came in and bowed to the old man. Speaking while holding his head as low as possible, the young messenger talked. Your Highness, he said, I am deeply sorry to disturb you, but Sir Hugus and Sir Curry asked to speak with you. Can I give them permission? The young man asks. Let those two in, but other than them, I do not want to be disturbed, the old man said. As you wish, Your Highness. As he left the room, allowing two other men to step inside. King Leonis, both of them said with a smirk, as it sounded jokingly. Just shut up and get inside and close the door, you damn idiots, the king said, huffing in annoyance. The two men were just as old as the king himself. Kuro, through the contrary though, still had majority of his black hair. However, Hugo on the other hand, sadly, he was completely bald and sporting the same long beard as the king. Kuro is a man from the Moon Island, and he was wearing a rich kimono with the symbol of the dragon, while Hugo was on duty in an armor, a knight armor. Shield was strapped to his back. Hexagonal helmet was currently under his arm. What's the situation, Hugo? The king asked tiredly. Still the same. Me and the other guards just finished cleaning the area of surrounding monsters. They are still low level luckily, but the numbers are increasing, Hugo said. He was a captain of the royal guards. And you, Kuro? Politics. Always politics. And only politics. I doubt that my colleagues would ever be able to talk themselves out of a wet bag made of wet paper, but somehow they're still in power. It speaks volume of their king intelligence. If those are his representation, talking them through the consulting mirror becomes a challenge each day. Every day I wish to just push my hand through and wrap it around their throat until they grow some damn insight. Kuro said as he collapsed on a chair as he massaged his temples. Completely different from when we were the heroes, huh? My dear Paramancer, the king said with a snort. I had way few troubles, yes, and Hugo had way more hair on his head back in the day, Kuro said. I have lost my damn hair because I've been dealing with you, you stuck-up brat. That is what happened, Hugo said. My friends, we are no longer the hot young heads. Please behave like adults. You started it, both of them said. That reminds me. Guess what? Kuro said. What? The king asked. Whatever might cause in the monsters to grow in number might also be the reason we have a new hero rising. A new hero? Ah, yes. I too heard the rumors a boy from the farm in Servalt has been born with such a title instead of gaining it, just like what happened to you. You know what it means, Hugo said with a smirk. So a quest to save the region or the world again. Just like when you were young. Good times, the king said. This one seemed different though. Kuro said. Please don't tell me he has a traumatic past. Please don't tell me that he has a painful, traumatic past. Dealing with Dalek and Susahara in our own quest as heroes has been enough for me to handle. And last this entire lifetime and 10 more, the king pleaded. Oh please, don't remind me of those two. Never thought a sun cleric, Doric, and a moon wanderer, Susahara, could go on and on and on and on when talking about their desire of justice and revenge. Just because we needed them to defeat the Demon King Asgard did not make them less annoying. Hugo said as he recalled those particularly bad memories. Good thing I have sent them to the frozen islands as far in the north to keep track of the demon penguins' mating habitat. As soon as I had inherited the title from my father, the king said. Meanwhile, at the frozen islands, what are they doing? A heavily dressed monk asked his partner. They're screwing each other again, the knight replied as he looked through his binoculars. This mission is not helping my mind forget the pain of my father's death. My loneliness, my sorrow, is still clouding my soul even more, hungering for justice. Everything is just a pale shadow of its former self, trapped in nothing but shade of unhappiness. The monk said, Me too. No one can understand the darkness inside my heart that has obscured my life ever since my mother died from that incurable, unknown disease. The pain is unbearable. Sometime, I don't even know if I can go on, but I must. I must traverse and continue. The penguins glanced over towards them as their sweat dropped. Way to kill the mood. Back at the royal castle. Thousands of kilometers away, and they are still too close, Kuro said. So, this hero of yours, he's already building a party to save the kingdom. However, to my knowledge, there is no evil demon threat at the moment. So why is he building a party? Hugo asked. Yes, the king said. I wasn't aware that we need a hero party. My very best guess is that his village, a very small one mind you, hopes that by sending him here, they will gain your favor as a hero should the need arise for him to help us, the diplomat said. Kuro, you're a smart man, a very very smart man, and I trust your judgment. Do we really need this boy? I am not going to wed my daughter to him just because he's a hero, you know. In fact, I am not wedding my daughter to him. Period. The old man said, annoyed. Well, you did marry the princess back then though. King hypocrite, I mean Leonis. The king guard said. That was different. The king shouted childishly. We risked our life. We risked everything to face off against that demon king. It was chaos and destructive, and we came out on top. It wasn't like I just went to your father and get married right away. Yeah. It was different, Hugos. By the way, Kuro said, as the other two men blush and fall silent. The problem is, the number of monsters is still increasing. So having a hero on hand does not sound like a bad idea. But I fear this time, it's not a demon causing the uprising monsters. I think it's King Joseph behind it. Leonis blinked. King Joseph? He has never abandoned his quest for his kingdom to be the largest out of the 3 crowns, to rule over our continent. My spies inform me that even before the monsters start to attack, King Joseph has been busy contacting people of the Moon Island. The contents of their letters are still unknown to me though, but they seem to be joining forces. Equipments and things are moving around. People as well. Hunters, clerics, monster tamers, and dragon knights are coming from the Moon Island, following the orders from the men of Joseph Kingdom, the king of a subpar underground shithole. Barely a castle want to take our name. Tuh, he's just a spoiled little brat, Hugo said. That may be true, but you have to remember that he has deep links with the elf tribe, the biggest colony of elves. Those people still have their ancient knowledge and artifacts. Prue answered, and they also have a grudge against every other race that is not elfish. The knight said, I'm surprised you're taking the news of your homeland, moving against us so well. Prue, are you okay? The king asked him. I was exiled because I prefer studying our forgotten magic than taking the path of samurais. They deem my study of the past unnecessary and too dangerous and kick me out of my own country. There is no love lost between us, especially when even your own family casts you away as a heretic, he said. What about the dwarves then? Did Joseph really manage to wake up a wasp's nest and double the number of monsters? The dwarf cities underground will be the first to suffer from this attack. That is the core of the problem. I've been contacted by their leader, Thorin Grandhammer, to seek a collaboration between our races. And if their own intelligence that they give us is true, Joseph, the elves, the Moon Islands are working together to target the faithful Colossus. Prue said. The Colossus? You mean the ones guarding? Hugo asked, looking a bit pale. Yes, exactly them. The holy guardians of Elrond, and the ones that are holding our world together through their dreams and endless sleep. And apparently those men have somehow found where they are and have somehow found a way to disturb their sleep, or in the worst case, kill them. Then we have to move immediately, crew. Yes. Go speak with the dwarves. We will finally sign the alliance with them. Then contact your spies and have them follow every trace those people make. Nothing must be left behind. I'll go immediately, Crew said as he bolted out of the room. Hugo's. I'm here, sir. Have the soldiers double their round and speed up the recruits' training. Have the squads protect the entrance. Alert all enforcement entrance around Devon to be on high alert. We must be informed about every insurgent or problem rising so that we can move immediately, the king ordered. I'll take care of it, and at their first misstep, we'll march right there to stop them. Hugo nodded as he put on back his helmet and stomped out of the room, leaving the king there to ponder on everything. Yes, it seems like war was coming, and this wasn't just any war. It was gonna be very chaotic. However, unknown to any of them, none of them have the slightest idea that a goblin, a soon evolved goblin turned into something that is truly traumatic, will be entering these worlds. Well, he's already there. Yes, his name is Naruto Umuzumaki or Namikaze. He's always somehow right in the middle of danger. So what do you guys expect? He's gonna find himself right in the middle of chaos. But this time though, he has a godly ability, and he's only getting stronger. How will he face against these new enemies? Well, you have to just sit back, relax, and enjoy, because it's gonna be fun, guys. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this? What am I saying? Let's get the hell out of here. This is part 1, part 2 will be coming up soon. Peace, guys.